Shoujo anime and manga has given us viewers insights into many types of relationships throughout the years. Healthy relationships, toxic ones, cute relationships, and even platonic relationships. And I feel like especially during my younger years, I shaped my view on romance through the portrayal of it in shoujo anime. But as much as shoujo provides, it also sugarcoats the ugly parts in relationships as something more than it should be. Which brings me on to relationships with massive age gaps. And in this video, I'm going to be delving into many different aspects of a large age gap in different animes and mangas. But I'm going to mainly stick to like the shoujo side of it all. And also guys, please comment down below what you guys think about this topic. I'd love to hear your opinions on this. Even if it's controversial, I feel like we read and we listen, and no hate in the comments. That's all I have to say. So without wasting any more time, let's rant about it. Now, a few couples come into my mind when I think of large age gaps when it comes to teacher-student relationships, but one that absolutely destroys my soul is Toru's parents' relationship. Kyoko and Katsuya, oh my gosh, these guys' lore is actually kind of crazy. Because tell me why these guys met when Kyoko was 14 and Katsuya was an adult and he was 22. And to put fuel to the fire, she was a middle schooler and he was her teacher. And throughout the years, we know a lot of media portrays a lot of student-teacher romance, and in most of them, they do end up together, which leads me on to the bigger issue, which is the romanticization of this. The older character takes on a mentor-like role, but this dynamic often crosses over into emotional manipulation or grooming. The older partner exploits the younger character's vulnerability, such as preying on their immaturity. And this happens most of the time, if not all the time, when it comes to relationships like this. This is particularly problematic when the relationship begins when the younger character is still a minor, and it can foster unhealthy attachments and confusion about boundaries and consent. And shows like Fruit Basket feature this relationship that blurs the line between mentorship and romantic interest, and it often ends with the younger person being emotionally dependent on the older one. The guardian or protector relationship in shoujo anime often involves an older, more experienced character assuming a protective or sometimes paternal role towards a younger protagonist. These types of relationships, while sometimes framed as heartwarming or romantic, often have massive age gaps between the characters and can be problematic when the characters who once saw each other as family and grew up in front of each other start to see each other in a more romantic light. A Girl and Her Guard Dog is a big example of how not to portray a guardian/protector relationship, and oftentimes the younger character is groomed into this and they don't even realize it, as they are coerced into having like this dependency on someone that they are meant to trust but just see them in a more sexual light. Especially if one character is like this naive child who's so much to live for, and the older character has like had all the experiences in the world, so therefore they know what they're doing. This reminds me of a series I really loved when I was younger. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's called like Denki Daisy or something like that, in which the male lead is essentially like a guardian to the female lead. But as the series go on, they start to like low-key fall for each other, and she is 16 and he is 24, and he's also like her brother's like best friend, something like that. And when I was younger and around her age, I used to eat this shit up. But as I grew up and is somewhat closer to the guy's age, I'm throwing that shit back, because there is nothing for you to even discuss about with a generational age gap like that. If you have watched this series, you would know that Sana had a thing for her bodyguard Ray, and there was a significant age gap between them. But what made this anime different from others was that Ray actually had common sense and he realized Sana's crush on him was nothing except like a little puppy love towards someone that she admired. But obviously, to a young girl like her, she thought he was her one true love. But like after she got rejected by Ray, she slowly started to understand that what she made up of him was just her way of admiring his presence in his life, and Ray not being a creep made her understand that he was, first of all, her guardian before he could be anything more to her. And especially with the age gap that they met each other, it would have been a bit weird if it escalated. And I feel like, I don't know with you guys, but especially with me, I feel like age gap romances can be portrayed in a beautiful way, especially if the characters are not underage. But at the same time, we have to like come to the realization that it is fictional at the end of the day. And a lot of shoujo readers would have been reading it for a while, or people who are getting into it, they would know the difference between a healthy relationship and a toxic one. But personally, for me, what rubs me in the wrong way when it comes to like age gap romance is when the older character specifically goes for the younger one first. And in most shoujo, we see like the younger female lead falling for the main lead. And even though it's still weird that they're going for someone who's underage, especially, but I think I find it just so much more weirder in animes like, oh, this love is disgusting, or like A Girl and a Guard Dog. It's the older male lead that goes for the younger female lead, and persistently as well, just exploiting like the immaturity to the fullest. And I feel like characters like that should be held in a jail far away from civilization. Well guys, that brings me on to the end of another video. I hope you guys like this. I was trying to go for like a little deep dive serious type of conversation with this, but genuinely this topic has been on my mind for a very very long time, ever since I started reading shoujo manga and started seeing like stories that were not repetitive but like had like the same sort of formula where like a younger female lead falls for older man who's like in his 30s, and she's like specifically 16 each and every time, because I feel like that's like the age of consent in Japan. But like I was just there like, oh, maybe it's just a cultural thing. But honestly, I want to know you guys' opinion about this topic and what you think about it. And if I missed out any uncomfortable age gap shoujo animes or mangas, please let me know in the comments down below, because I feel like there has been a lot, but I just don't remember most of them. But with saying that, guys, I genuinely hope you guys have a wonderful day. Keep hydrated, stay safe. I love you all, and toodles!